Time for more on the FIFA World Cup now, and every fan has images that stay with them. An amazing goal or a controversial one. But the story of the fans is photo-worthy as well. And our next guest proved it by snapping a stunning array of fan images around Toronto during the 2006 World Cup. So there was the joy, the disappointment, and just the thrill of being together with other like-minded people. It was all captured by the lens of Joseph Howarth, and he joins us in studio this morning. Joseph, I understand you were not even a soccer fan, so you like taking pictures of the people who like to be watching soccer. Why do this?
Well, I do love sports, and I saw Toronto just transform every 4 years, and I thought it would be a really fascinating thing to document with my camera. And I love the multiculturalism of Toronto, and I thought, hey, why not travel the world here in this just one city?
It's a great way to look at it. How do you find the fans that you've used in your photography?
Well, it's been a variety of things. You can look, nowadays it's a lot easier with blogs and newspapers who give you all the places to go, but when it gets down to some of the smaller teams, I had to call embassies and consulates. I had to just find someone who knows someone who's going to be watching the game. So there were 3 examples where I went into someone's home. They invited me to the living room to watch the game with them.
What an intimate experience. Were those some of your favorite pictures, the hardest ones to find?
Definitely, definitely. I remember sitting in the living room of 3 fans from Togo, and Togo was a tough country to find, so just to be there with them, and then they scored, and it was just pandemonium in their living room. Other times there's 5,000 Korean fans in the Metro Toronto Convention Center, and that was a totally different experience, but it was all just amazing.
What a neat project, especially to do in Toronto, where really you can find every country represented. Let's take a look at some of your recent pictures. I'm curious to know what stands out to you in them. It's like having our own private art viewing here this morning. So this one here, what's happening?
This last weekend I shot Serbia, Slovenia, and the United States, and this was Serbia, and they lost, and it was the devastation that was really captured in this one. Yeah, it was tough. It was funny because I went from Slovenia, which was in the morning game, and they won. It was their first World Cup victory. And then we had Serbia, and it was they had to win, and they didn't.
And
it was pretty devastating.
And this one here.
So this was U.S. U.S. was really hard to find in 2006, so I wanted to find new fans. And this is Dylan here, and I met Dylan at a flag shop last week, and he was buying that big American flag. I'm like, Dylan, where are you going to watch the game? And he told me, and we got connected, and so I went and watched him, and he was one of those expressive fans that you love, with every play the eyes just pop. So
what was happening at this moment? He looks like he's in agony a little bit.
To be honest with you, what I found with soccer fans, any play is a big play. And yeah, so there wasn't, yeah. And this was Serbia again, and again, this was right when Ghana scored their penalty kick. And yeah, that was it. That was the end of the game. There was 8 minutes left. Now this was Slovenia, and
That's a lot of cheering. I can tell that.
This was right when they scored, and I don't use a flash at all, so there's the blurred chaos.
I was going to say
this is the moment.
That looks like some of my pictures, but I wouldn't consider myself a photographer. But do you like the blurriness of it?
Oh, it has to be. Like, I don't want to interrupt the environment at all, so I just use slow shutter speed, and you capture that blur, but that's what it feels like. It's just chaotic. And so this was right after the goal, and there was a TV camera in there, so that's where that extra light is coming in, so I kind of benefited from that. But there were 300 Slovenians celebrating, and it was amazing. Yeah.
Everybody remembers the feelings, but so neat to be able to capture it in that one moment. It's true. Picture says 1,000 words.
Right.
Joseph Howarth, thanks very much for bringing them to us today, and good luck for tracking down your fans for the rest of the World Cup.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if you live in Toronto, you can head out to see Joseph's art gallery out at Rivoli on Queen Street until July the 10th. That's where he's displaying some of his photographs. Or if you want to watch the action for yourself, maybe be a subject of Joseph's pictures, you can watch it online. cbc.ca/FIFA World Cup. Follow the links you find there. There are game recaps, previews, the game itself, and some great feature stories. So stay with us here on CBC News Network. There's more to come right after a short break.